All right, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to start off this lesson by giving all praises and
Just
honor and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Hashem,
Yahushai,
Yahshua,
Bahashem,
Hashem,
Baruch HaKadosh.
Hakadosh,
All right, and double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone and rule well, and I've taught us His word in truth and sincerity. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000.
Mhm.
All right, that's also pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. All right. And we're coming at you again. All right, your fellow servant Amath is here, and I'm joined with Malak.
Mhm.
All right, we're GMS Toronto, coming at you again with another live lesson. And it's gonna be another edition of Doomsday Prophecies. All right,
Mhm.
Doomsday Prophecies, and the title is "The Whore's Hatred Will Bring About Her Destruction." Okay,
Mhm.
the whore's hatred will bring about her destruction. You should know. If you don't know, you should know. You should know who that whore is. That whore spoken about in Revelation, the 17th chapter, which, matter of fact, I'll open up with that. And that whore that ride upon the beast,
Mhm.
all right, the beast being a system, a world system, all right, in particular NATO, all right, in the EU, 7 heads and 10 horns. That's NATO and the EU. That whore is AKA America, also known
Mhm.
as daughter of Babylon, mystery Babylon.
Mr. Babylon. That's right.
All right, and the prophecy for this place, all right, America, aka Mystery Babylon or Daughter of Babylon, is destruction. All right. Not only would she be given the earth to rule, all right, for a set amount of time, um, and to oppress the earth and oppress the nations of the earth, starting with the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and also these speckled birds out there.
Mhm.
All right. To oppress the Israelites and the rest of the world and bring the world to the height of wickedness and evil. So the Most High can what? Could destroy, all right, this empire, which this is being, we're living in the Edomite Empire, all right, and being governed by America, right? These Chaldeans, the modern day Chaldeans, which are the top wicked elites of the Edomite nation, the bankers, they're ruling the earth through America. America is that patsy of ruling the earth.
That's
Okay,
right.
but the Lord has called destruction, exposure to the prophets, shameful spewing, all right, for all her dealings and wickedness, and then destruction will come. Okay, so let me get that precept, Revelation 17, and I'll start at 16.
Mhm.
Revelation 17 and 16, it says in the King James, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate. Let me start at 15, actually. So Revelation 17 and 15,
Mhm.
it says, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, whereas the horse sitteth, and peoples are peoples and multitudes and nations and
Mhm.
tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate. The whore,
Mhm.
again, aka that's America.
That's
The
right.
beast, 7 heads and 10 horns, is NATO and the EU. Okay, and you're seeing this guy Trump, all right, um, aka Narrow, who we believe to be Narrow. He is, with all his policies, all his actions, he's isolating America from the earth, from all
Mhm.
the other nations. Okay, and we're gonna get into all that.
Mhm.
It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore and make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn
Good.
her with fire. That is thermonuclear war, thermonuclear fire. World
Destruction.
War III, which we are in World War III. Okay, and we're just in the stages of rumors of war, and we know before the complete destruction, all right, of Mystery Babylon or Mystery Babylon, aka America, that the hour of temptation, all right, which is linked to the mark of the beast, needs to come. Okay, but if we're that much closer, we're seeing the drums of war, so to speak. If the drums of war are beating as loudly as they are, how much closer are we to the MOTB? And we always say this at GMS. All right, verse 17, it says, for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has put it, actually, that's the point. All right, 15 to 16.
Mm-hmm.
Before I get this clip, Malak, you got something you want to bring out?
Yeah,
Up with as well?
real quick, the drop back of what you just read through the eyes of the prophet Jeremiah, how he was inspired to see it prophetically at the end, the destruction of this place, Babylon. Okay, and so I'm going to read Jeremiah 50:9. I'm just going to read one precept. Okay, if you folks know your history, you can go into it, but you need to understand what was just read in Revelation 17. And here's the backdrop. And I'm going to read it today from the NLT in regards to Babylon.
49?
50:9. Jeremiah 50:9 from the.
Let me
right.
read it for you.
Yeah, start at verse 8. Just.
All right, so this is Jeremiah 50 and verse 8 in the NLT. It reads, but now flee from Babylon. Leave the land of the Babylonians. Like male goats at the head of the flock, lead my people home again.
Right. So the prophet, by way of inspiration, is proclaiming that this is what needs to be done. In other words, get out of Babylon mentally, intellectually, spiritually, psychologically. And even some of you may, that is supposed to leave, that the Lord require, you leave literally. Okay? Leave all that stuff behind. Right? And the scripture goes on to say it's 2 male goats. Okay, it's the Lord's goats at the head of the flock. Lead my people again. So that's what the prophets will do by way of inspiration. They'll tell folks to come out of Babylon. Okay, because this is what's going to happen, which was just read. So verse 9.
It says, for I am raising up an army of great nations from the north. They will join forces to attack Babylon. And she will be captured. The enemy's arrows will go straight to the mark. They will not miss. That's
right. So we know this verse is prophetic, speaking to the destruction of Babylon. And we know what was read in Revelation 17:16, specifically what the 10 horns is going to do to that whore. But yes, also the rest of the nations, okay, will be against this coming from the north. Go ahead. That would be linking Ezekiel to that. But go ahead, brother. Bring out your thought, because that's all I wanted to say on that.
Yeah, these arrows. No, I just want to break down the arrows because we got a lot of newer believers coming in. And everything we're doing, we're really just going back over the basics. But as the doors of prophecies are closing in, what is being prophesied is now being reality, and we're living it more and more. So when you read in Jeremiah 50:9, these arrows represent the missiles, ICBM missiles, hypersonic missiles. For those of you out there. So when you read here, Jeremiah 50:9, for I am raising up an army of great nations. Look at the geopolitical setting of the world right now. Look at BRICS. Look at these nations banding together. They're circumventing the dollar, figuring out ways to do trade with one another away from the dollar, right? Which America has used the dollar to weaponize. They have weaponized the dollar, right, to control nations throughout the 4 corners of the earth, right? So you see, it says from the north, they will join forces to attack Babylon, and she will be captured. The enemy's arrows, these are ICBM missiles, will go straight to the mark. Why? Because in Joel, the Lord said his spirit, okay, when we get this, you get this in Joel, his spirit is actually going to be on these missiles to guide these missiles right to the mark, the intended mark, prophetic mark, which is America. Okay, that place will be a wasteland according to Bible prophecy. All right, so it says arrows will go straight to the mark and they will not miss. Okay, they won't miss. And this is why, like Malak was saying, the elder Malak was saying, is that right now we're in a stage, all right, this stage of the Great Spirit, we're leaving Babylon the Great
That's right.
spiritually and mentally, right? So that we can physically leave Babylon the Great through the chairs of the Most High, which the world ignorantly calls them UFOs.
Mhm.
Okay, because if you don't leave Babylon mentally and intellectually, in other words, putting off the old man, okay, the old man is built up in the fashion of this world, and the fashion of this world fadeth away. So if you don't put off the old man, guess what? You're gonna find yourself caught up in the destruction of Babylon the Great or wherever you are.
Mhm. That's right.
That was it on this.
You know what? Just Abu Shah, could you just read 10 and 11 and that's it. That's all I wanted to go into because same there, 50,
Okay.
10 and 11 to the point. Okay. Because as you say, we're going over it, and those newer brothers and rest of the elect needs to understand what's going on here real quick. You just read 10 and 11.
So
NLT.
Jeremiah 50:10,
Mhm.
it says in NLT, Babylonia will be looted until the attackers are gutted, glutted, right? Gluted. Yeah.
I have the
Let me do it
word
again.
ready.
Babylonia will be looted until the
Mhm.
attackers. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, swallowed up. Right? There's no hope. There's no balm
Okay.
for this.
Straightforward.
Swallowed up. Look up that word.
Okay.
Swallowed up. Swallowed. Okay. With
Straight up.
root.
So Babylonia,
Shah had spoken. Salaki, go ahead, brother. Just gonna say it there. Go ahead. Take your time. Take your time, man.
Babylonia will be looted until the attackers are gutted with loot.
Mhm.
I, the Lord Yahweh, have spoken.
Mhm.
You rejoice and are glad.
Mhm.
You rejoice, Slaka. You rejoice and are glad.
That's right.
You who plundered my chosen people.
Mhm.
You frisked about like a calf in a meadow and neighed like a stallion. Yeah.
Simply put, first
So
part of the
pompous,
verse.
right?
Yes. And we're take your time, but I just want to say on the first part of the verse, man, we are glad. We're going to be glad at that time. Okay? We're going to be glad. You rejoice and are glad. We're going to be glad. Not a lot of people are going to be glad when that place is fallen. Okay? But we're going to be glad. Okay? Just wanted to emphasize that aspect of it. Go ahead, brother.
All right. So I'm gonna get this clip now. Let's get to the clip. I don't want to make this too long. So this clip here is from Chasing Sharp. All right. So it says here, we've never seen anything like this before. Richard Wolff. All right. He brings out. He's an economist. All right. He brings out a lot of information on geopolitical events and so on and so forth. So anyways, this is fair use. All right. We're not monetizing this video or making any money from this video whatsoever. We are only sharing this video for educational purposes only. All right. So fair use. All right. So we'll go ahead here. Let me know if you can hear it.
Much importance for oil.
Internet's bugging out. Just bear with us here, brothers and sisters.
The ability of the West to continue to hold on to as much importance for oil as their economic investment requires them to do. Okay, nothing can change here now. The contradictions are too many and too complicated. And you can see that by the inability of the world to do anything, confronted by what is the sharpest point of that contradiction, which is the Israeli bombing of the people of Gaza. Everyone in the world, the overwhelming majority, have a position on that, and the position is anti-Israel and pro-Palestinian. The votes in the United Nations show that. I mean, there are a number of votes in which it's the entire world on one side and Israel and the United States on the other. I mean, one could not have a more dramatic demonstration of a stalemate because the bombing goes on. Nothing is in a position to act definitively to stop it. So we have a war that's now going on and on and on, and people are talking about removing an entire population. I mean, it's extraordinary. And the second example is Iran. You can't do anything. The Iranians have very powerful relationships developed now over many years with both China and Russia. There's even a formal mutual defense agreement between Russia and Iran. If you attack Iran, where does that go? Israel would like to do it because Israel's only hope in the long run is to draw the United States in much more than.
See, you hear what he just said?
Mhm.
Everything he just said now in this 2-minute segment is prophecy, which we're going to get the precepts.
It is willing to go in there and support them. Otherwise, at some point, much more than it is willing to, because Israel's only hope in the long run is to draw the United States in much more than it is willing to go in there and support them. Otherwise, at some point, and I'm not the only one who says this, the United States will take a new look at Israel and do.
Yeah, so his main point that he said here that stuck out is what? That at some point, Israel, right, the state of Israel would like to drag along America into war. Let me revise how he said it here.
More than it is willing to go in there and support them. Otherwise, is to draw the United States in much more than it is willing to go in.
Yeah, so to draw the United States in. So that's prophecy, okay? That's prophecy, that's Bible prophecy. So this is let's go to Jeremiah 50, and let me start at 41. Okay, Jeremiah 50 and 41.
Mhm.
It says here in the King James, behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. And this is what we're witnessing, right? As he was talking about all the different allies that are coupling with each other, all right? Eventually, it's going to lead to them, all right, destroying America. Okay, you have Iran with Russia, right? Russia and China. You have the whole BRICS nation. So the Most High, right? We're witnessing the Most High fulfill prophecy right before our eyes. He's working on the minds of these various kings of the earth, right, to fulfill his will. Verse 42, it says, they shall hold the bow, okay, and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. And this is primarily, right, out of all those nations that are coming from the east, right, that are being gathered together. The guard of those nations are Russia, according to Bible prophecy. What is that? Ezekiel 38.
That's right.
Okay.
Captain of the Medes.
Yeah, King of the Medes. Bubble Shah, if you can get that,
Okay.
and I'll pull it up.
Mhm.
I don't know exactly what verse it in the chapter, but the King of the Medes shall be a guard unto these nations as well. Okay, so I'll read this again. Verse 42, it says, they shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like a sea, and they shall ride upon horses, every one put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. Again, that's America. All right, let's jump down. I'll read verse 43. It says, the king of Babylon hath heard the report of them. Okay, so right now the king of Babylon, all right, is Trump. Okay, and he's hearing the report. He knows how these nations are getting down, and that's why he ran into Venezuela and basically declared it his. Okay, and Taiwan, all right, or China at the same time, all right, is getting ready to take over Taiwan. All right, so the stage is being set. Anyhow, it says the kings of Babylon the king of Babylon has heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pangs as of a woman in travail. Yep. This guy's gonna panic, man. And we'll skip down here to verse 45. It says, therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he has taken against Babylon, and his purposes, okay, that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Again, the Chaldeans represents the top wicked elite, right? The bankers of the nation primarily the nation of Esau, Edom. But you have bankers as well among the other nations. But the top bankers are those that are of the nation of Esau, Edom. Okay, those are the modern day Chaldeans, Rothschild, Bilderbergs, so on and so forth, Rockefellers. It says that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans, in America. Okay, and it's because the land of America is how these top bankers rule the earth. They rule the earth through America. Surely the least of the flock, okay, and that's you know who, right? The least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. You see, because the land of Israel will also be pelted by missiles, but it's going to be built back, okay, back up by its oppressors, right, the heathens, starting with Esau, Edom on down. But the land of America will never be built back up. It's going to be a desert, a wasteland, a memorial of what happens when you rebel against the Most High and oppresses holy children, the Israelites. Verse 46, it says here, last verse, at the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations.
Babylon is fallen, is fallen.
You got that precept? Where is it?
I didn't find it yet, but I have Jeremiah 50 and 11 just to bring out the leader of the North Country. But the one that I'm looking for in Ezekiel 38. 1 second there. So I have Jeremiah 50 and 11. I could bring that one out.
Yeah. Go ahead and read that. I'll look for this one. Just go ahead and read that.
Right. Jeremiah 51 and 11. Slack it. Here we go. Screen. Yeah, it says this is Jeremiah 51 and 11. It says, sharpen the arrows. I'm reading from the NLT. Sharpen the arrows, lift up the shields, for Yahweh has inspired the kings of the Medes to march against Babylon and destroy her. This is vengeance against those who desecrated his temple. Right? And simply put, that's Jeremiah 15:11. Again, another prophetic scripture pointing down to this Babylon, mystery Babylon. Okay. All right. So yes, simply put, who has desecrated his temple. Okay, starting with the prophets. Okay, the nation of Israel. Okay.
Thou should be a guard unto the nations, KJV.
Okay, that's one. Okay. Oh, you found it? You found it? Right. And clearly this was a prophetic scripture, right? Which we already know. We're not going to go into the backdrop of it.
No, I want this in Ezekiel 38.
Right. Okay. Let me see that. So, okay. Okay. This verse.
That's here. A couple seconds. Yo, this chat's not even working well. Come on. You know what? I'll do it like this. Hey, shalom to the brothers. This is here, Aqua. On the come aboard, shalom, the Al-Bashar. Okay, Ezekiel 38 and 7. All right, so Ezekiel 38 and 7. It reads, so I will, oh, this is 39. says Ezekiel 38:7. Behold, it says, "Be thou prepared," in the King James. "Be thou prepared, and prepare that for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them." Let's go up a verse.
Yeah, you can actually
Yeah.
start
So it
at.
says,
Well,
no, I'm just going to start at 6, get to the point,
okay.
so we can
Okay.
continue on with the video.
Fine.
It says here, Ezekiel 38:6, Gomar and all his bands,
Mm-hmm.
the house of Togomar
Mm-hmm.
of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Oh man, I guess I can go up, eh?
Yeah, you could go up
Jeez.
if you want. Just for clarification, just for your young ones.
Where is it at? So I'm back
Yes. Yeah. You can.
at 3. This is 3. It says,
Son of
"And
man.
say, thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of power, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal," right? Modern day Russia. Okay.
Mhm.
It says, "And I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaw, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company, with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
Mhm.
Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmets." And these are all allied nations with Russia.
Mhm.
All right. Primarily through BRICS.
That's
Okay.
right.
And it says, Gomer and all his bands, and the house of Togomar of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. It says, "Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them."
Mhm.
Because right now, currently, Russia holds more missiles. Believe it or not, you can look it up for yourself. But Russia holds the most amount of hypersonic missiles, ICBM missiles, and then it's America. But
Mhm.
economically, America has been the top nation on the planet Earth, economically and militarily. Now that you have the militarily side being what's it called, rivaled against with Russia and their military, and the economic power of America is being rivaled with China.
Mhm.
But you see these two nations come together to come. The Lord is working on the minds, the kings of these two nations,
That's right.
and all their other allies to come together against America. And this is what we're witnessing. And all this that these communists are putting together and telling us, all right, it's all Bible prophecy. It's all in the scriptures. It's been written thousands of years before. We're seeing it play out right now, showing the
That's right.
power of the Lord's word, man. He said his words will not come back to him void.
That's right.
You see?
And I read in Jeremiah 15:11, NLT, it says the Lord has inspired them to be what? Inspired, simply put, to be warriors, to go to come against Babylon, the spirit of war. There's nothing you can do to stop it. So, as brother just mentioned, simply put, it was foretold and inspired, man. You're gonna never see these nations be so crazy. Anyway, that's it. With war.
Yeah.
Now,
Yep, you're right. Because the next priest I'm going to get, then we'll get back to this clip, is 2nd Ezra 15 in the King James, right? Because like you said, the Lord, we read in Ezekiel 38, the Lord is going to put hooks in the jaws of the king of the Medes, right? Captain of the Medes, which is Russia, which means that he's going to pull them, all right, towards his will to do what he wants them to do. And we're reading here in Ezekiel, not Ezekiel, 2nd Ezra 15 and 28, okay? It says here in the King James, "Behold, a horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia," right, all the Arab nations, "shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth. And right now, what are we seeing? We're seeing a growth in T attacks and throughout the earth, right? Especially between who? Islamic nations versus the small hats. And that's all Bible prophecy. We read
That's right.
about the least of them shall draw them out. The least of them we know is the tie hatters, all right? And draw who out? Draw ultimately America to war. But it's also going to draw these other nations who are allied with Iran, and primarily who? Russia and China. Russia primarily, and China is allied with Russia. All right, so through the small hats warring with Iran, they're going to draw the world's biggest players to war.
That's right.
Okay, so this is Bible prophecy. So it says here again, verse 29, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Okay. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath, right? And this is the Iranians, right? The Carmanians is also going back to the Persians, the modern day Persians, because Iran, the Iranians. Okay. So it says also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars. Because remember, who did they go back to? Ishmael, right? And the prophecy of Ishmael is that he would be what? He would be a wild man. Okay, he'd be wild against all his brethren, all the other nations. That was the prophecy, roughly paraphrasing. So it says, shall go forth, the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. And with great power shall they come and join battle with them. Through whom? Russia, the captain of the Medes. Okay, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. All right, so what's the modern day land of Assyria? The prophetic Assyrians, or the prophetic land of Assyria, is America. America is also known as Assyria, spiritually and prophetically. It's also known as Egypt, spiritually and prophetically. It's known as Babylon, spiritually and prophetically. Nineveh, Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay. It says Rome. You can't forget about Rome.
That's right.
Okay.
Forget Rome and Greek. The Greeks.
Yeah, and the Greeks. That's right. And here's the point that you were bringing out, verse 31. It says, and then shall the dragons, right, have the upper hand.
That's right.
Remembering their nature, because they all go back to Ishmael. Right?
That's right.
They're all mixed up. The Arabs and Iranians, they're all mixed up.
That's right.
Okay.
Beautiful. But Ishmael is the one that's no. I was gonna say 100%, brother. That's clarification, straight. So now you know who's leading out there. It's that dirty wild man, right? Yeah, all the other nations are with him, and he's mingled up with them, you know. But yeah, he's prominent, right? And just like Bible prophecy, yes, straight.
It says, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves again, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these shall be troubled bled, right? And keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them. Remember, this is prophetically talking about America. Okay, the enemy shall besiege them, and we don't know how this is going to happen. But basically, what we're reading is all this poking the bear of the small hats to Iran and other various parts of the earth is going to lead to an attack on America, to attack on Babylon the Great. Okay, it could be waking up sleeper cells. Right, it could be a blackout, a hacking of the electrical grid. Who knows? Okay, but we know there's going to be a major black swan event. All right, that's that will come from the constant tensions between these nations and America.
That's right.
So Oh shoot, where did I leave off? Oh yeah, verse 33, it says, and from the land of Assyria shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them, and in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. Yeah. Okay, so hey man, America is getting ready to be divided and then destroyed. All right, you can read about it being divided against itself. All right, and Isaiah 19. All right, I will set Egyptian against Egyptian because there's going to be some kind of sleeper cell attack, right? And now you're going to be asked what kind of American you are.
Oh, no, that's the
Just like
spirit. I
in
was
the
just
Civil War, right?
That's
Just like in the
spirit,
movie
exactly.
Civil War. I'm American. What kind of American?
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming.
Okay. So let's continue on here in this video. That's right.
Oh, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
So we'll skip ahead. Let's go to 13.
What kind of American are you? As a matter of fact, American and Egyptian against Egyptian. Okay. Egyptian against Egyptian.
Bear with me here. Computer's a little
Take your
slow.
time.
Internet's lagging.
Egyptian against Egyptian. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, brother.
Now we're good.
Even the admission that they lost the war in Vietnam is difficult for them, not for anyone else in the world, but for them. So here's the reality. In Europe, after 1945, and up to this minute, every active politician learned, if he or she didn't know it before, that the way to go up the career ladder in the governments of Europe was to be known to befriend the United States, to be pro-American, to be eager to accommodate the superpower. And every politician who didn't get that memorandum was pushed aside, often by the United States, who made it crystal clear. We don't like this one. We don't want that one. We're not happy with this one. That's how it worked. When you read now about the behavior.
Yeah, it's true. Because that again, what he's saying is Bible prophecy. When you read here, this is why in Isaiah 14:12 it says, in the King James, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which dideth weaken the nations? Right? And we know he weakened the nations primarily through what? His gift of the sword, all right, and the gift of the tongue.
That's right.
Right? And the gift of the tongue comes by the way of what? His policies. As you just heard, this economist talk about all the different rulers of Europe knew that what? For them to come up the political ladder, you would have to kiss the ring, all right, of whoever is in power in America, whatever president. Basically, you would have to kiss the ring of America, right, to get any kind of power to rule in Europe, as you just mentioned. Okay, and also we know that America weakened the nations through its military might, going in and ruling over nations instead of setting up embassies. It says here, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Obviously, that's going into over the nation of Israel, right? But also these other nations, right? The congregation in the side of the north, all right? All these other nations, they bow down or kiss the ring, so to speak, to America, okay? Let me play back what he just said. He said it himself.
United States, to be pro-American, to be eager to accommodate the superpower. And every politician who didn't get that memorandum was pushed aside, often by the United States, who made it crystal clear. We don't like this one. We don't want that one. We're not happy with this one. That's how it worked. When you read now about the behavior of the woman American diplomat who's...
Yeah, let me get another one too, because he's right. Jeremiah 51:7. All right. Babylon has been a golden cup in the hands of the Lord. All right. That made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Right. So the nations have drunken off the wine of Babylon. All these politicians, all right, over there in Europe. You listen. If the Lord opened our eyes to the skullduggery, all right, and excuse my French, but the fuckery and the sick acts that they do in all their rituals all right, and with satanic witchcraft and rituals to get the positions they get. Hey, our minds will be blown. Remember, the Lord said that the sins of Babylon have reached unto heaven. So these guys they bend over, they do all kinds of things to receive, all right, the power they have in their country. This is why every policy that's pushed, all right, in that country, it really serves indirectly or directly, all right, serves America,
That's
and
right.
not just America as a whole, but the top rich, the top wicked elite of America, not the 1%, not the rest of the 99. Okay, so these are puppet kings. That's all they are, puppet presidents. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroy. How for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed, right? And she won't be healed. Here's one more. It says Habakkuk 2:15. It says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, and putteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness, right? So there's a lot of bribery. Hey, let me just play this one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to what he said.
Didn't know it before. That the way to go up the career of politician, learn 1945, and up to this minute, every
In 1945, right? So that's basically after World War II.
active politician learned, if he or she didn't know it before, that the way to go up the career ladder in the governments of Europe was to be known to befriend the United States, to be pro-American, to be eager to accommodate the superpower. And every politician who didn't get that memorandum was pushed aside, often by the United States, who made it crystal clear. We don't like this one. We don't want that one. We're not happy with this one.
And that's all that's happening with Venezuela. All right.
Right.
That's exactly what's happening with Venezuela. And so we read here in Habakkuk 2:15, NLT, it says, what sorrow awaits you who make your neighbors drunk, right? Through your witchcraft and all your wicked customs and acts.
That's right.
Right. So it says, well, what sorrow awaits you who make your neighbors drunk? You force your cup on them,
Mm-hmm.
so you can gloat over
Beautiful.
their shameful nakedness.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
But soon it will be your turn to be disgraced. Come drink and be exposed. Drink for the cup of the Lord. Drink from the cup of the Lord Yahweh's judgment, and all your glory will be turned to shame. You see?
That's right.
So you can see.
Yeah, straight. I just wanted to say real quick, there's a guy that's going around saying that he's going to force people's habits, right? I'm not going to mention his name, so-called, right? But yeah, and you just read it there.
All right, we got to talk about this, y'all. This is kind of a big deal. So Futurism says,
But anyway, that's it,
Go
brother.
ahead.
No, I was going to say, yeah, there's a guy that goes around, that has gone around and for quite some time, and he said, yeah, we're going to force their habits. Force their habits. So,
Yep.
hey, the prophecies, every word, man. None of it's going to come back void. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
To be eager to accommodate the superpower. And every politician who didn't get that memorandum was pushed aside, often by the United States, who made it crystal clear. We don't like this one. We don't want that one. We're not happy with this one. That's how it worked. When you read now about the behavior of the woman American diplomat whose name I forgot, who put Mr. Zelensky into power, that was not unusual that an American diplomat, an ambassador or a
You're
CIA
talking about Victoria Nuland.
That's right. Victoria Nuland. Thank you. She's not unusual. She's not distinctive. There's nothing interesting or exceptional about her, including dismissing the Europeans. Who cared about them? That's what she's famous for. But she only said out loud what everyone knew. Why am I telling you this? Because the leaders of Europe today, Starmer, Macron, Merz, that's who they are. They have built their careers. They have spent the last 30, 40, 50 years building a career around being the patsy for the United States. That's who they know. That's where their self-image comes from. They're not going to turn against the United States because they've gotten to the position they have precisely because they were the most acceptable to the United States. No one should be surprised by this. Of course, that's where they go. And if there is a moment when an unusual American leader like Trump questions what's going on, it's going to take some time before others who question like Trump displace this generation of European leaders who are simply carrying out what they developed. It reminds me of a famous cartoon I used to see in the movies. And there's an image of a duck running off the edge of a cliff. And it gets to the edge and it keeps on running for another few minutes before it looks down and realizes there's no cliff anymore. And then it drops like a stone. You are going to see in Europe over the next months and years the steady, slow disappearance of the U.S. pandering European political elite. And they're going to be replaced by people who see the world differently and who reject a future because it's not looking very good for them. And like the duck running off the edge, they can't stand looking down, because if they do, they will see that the United States, to whom they are showing their good obedience, isn't there anymore, has turned and left and is looking at them as if they were the patsies that they always were. There is no greater hatred than that of the master who no longer leads the slave and needs to get rid of that slave and has to come up with an excuse and not understand how much the slave did for them. If you keep doing
Let's see.
Yeah, he's on point. Okay, that's scriptures, man. So let's get this. This is Ezekiel. Let's go to Ezekiel. Ezekiel 16. Now, historically, this is talking about the nation of Israel, but prophetically, as well, it was prophecy. You could also apply this to America, okay? Because America is guilty of the very same thing that we were guilty of as a nation of Israel. So this is Ezekiel 16, and let me start at 35. Read this in the NLT. All right, Ezekiel 16 and 35. It says, "Therefore you prostitute," right? And it's no coincidence that the woman that sits upon the beast, right, or the daughter of Babylon, is known as what? Is known as a whore, right? So it says, "Therefore you prostitute, listen to this message from the Lord Yahweh." Right? This is what the sovereign Lord Yahweh says. "Because you have poured out your lust and exposed yourself in prostitution to all your lovers, and because you have worshipped detestable idols," because America is set up. All right, it's the Mecca of all idol. What's the scripture say? Revelation 17. The mother of harlots, the mother of all harlots, right?
The whore
have worshipped detestable idols. That's right. You have worshipped detestable idols, and because you have slaughtered your children as sacrifices to your gods. This is what the Lord, and best believe the presidents, prime ministers of Europe, all right, join in hand, all right, with the rulers of America in these wicked acts, wicked sacrifices. All right, hey, you have Epstein Island, but the whole earth, all right, is Epstein Island. The whole earth is. You think Epstein Island is just the only place where they do all that kind of stuff, man? That happens throughout the four corners of the earth. It says, "This is what I am going to do. I will gather together all your allies, the lovers with whom you have sinned, both those you love and those you hated. I will strip you naked in front of them, so they can stare at you." Okay, and we're witnessing this with America. America is going to be stripped naked right now. Is being stripped, all right, through the truth. It's being exposed.
That's right.
Okay, but it's being stripped of its power, its hegemony. All right, how is the hammer of the earth ceased? Okay, it's no longer being used as a hammer of the earth. Now the Lord is using its allies to hammer it.
That's right. Beautiful.
Okay?
Beautiful. It's funny as you say that. That's the spirit, because real quick, I won't quote verbatim the writing by using different tactics, but more importantly, use other nations to take down other nations, right? But it's forecast by the prophets, okay, first and foremost, and then you go down. But I just wanted to bring out the point about, simply put, the writing is on the wall, okay, in regards to how these kingdoms are falling apart. So yes,
That's right. It says, verse 38, Ezekiel 16:38, I will punish you for your murder and adultery. I will cover you with blood in my jealous fury. Then I will give you to these many nations
see,
who are your lovers, and they will destroy you. You see? Okay. They will destroy you. They will knock you down. They will knock down your pagan shrines and the altars to your idols. They will strip and take your beautiful jewels, leaving you stark naked. Revelation 18.
take
That
your
goes the same
jewels,
thing.
take your jewels, Salaki, brother,
All
take
right.
your jewels.
Revelation 18 echoes. Yeah.
Take your jewels.
Revelation 18 echoes the same thing. Okay.
That's right.
Destruction
Destruction.
by what? Thermonuclear fire. That's all that's coming for this hope. All right, is thermonuclear fire, destruction by thermonuclear fire, and the chariots of the Most High, which the world even calls UFOs, man. And we're chatting down Babylon as we're to do. Okay, the Lord's words will not come back to him void. Verse 40, and you should be excited about this. You Israelites that sincerely fear the Lord should be excited about this, because as we get closer and closer to the destruction of Babylon the Great, which is synonymous to Yahushua coming back and delivering the hopeful elect. All right, that means we're that much closer to the kingdom of heaven being established on earth, as well as we always say, before the destruction of Babylon, aka America, we know that the hour of temptation, right, is going to come before. It's going to come before us. All right, well, and the Lord is going to bring His hopeful elect through. He's going to keep them through the hour of temptation. Okay, but then, hey, as soon as like Apostle Har says, which he's, it makes sense. As soon as they make the MOTB mandatory, everything that's left is all the prophecies that are left are gonna go by super quick, because it tells you that really in Job, that when he's filling his belly, when he's about to fill his belly, right? So when he's eating, is him chipping everybody, making the chip mandatory. That's him eating, right? In Revelation 18, it says what was found in Babylon was what? The souls of men. How did he get the souls of men? Ultimately through the RFID chip. So when he's eating, chipping everybody, and about to fill his belly, it says the Lord is going to rain down destruction on him. Okay? So we should be excited, man, and turned up in the spirit, seeing that these nations are gathering together for war against his horde. And we know that means the hour of temptation is right around the corner. Okay, which means the kingdom of heaven could be in the kingdom of heaven could be established on earth, can start to be established on earth by the end of 2026.
That's right.
That's serious, man. That's very, very serious and solemn and exciting all at the same time. So Ezekiel 16:40, they will band together in a mob to stone you with what? Missiles, and cut you up with swords, missiles. Okay? That's it on that.
Beautiful. Simply put.
All right, we'll play the last little bit of this, and that'll be it for this video.
What you're doing to Russia, if it doesn't seem to be draining them, turning them in on each other, upsetting the society, then maybe what you're facing is what you should have imagined in the first place. That sometimes when you attack another country, you solidify it and unify it and mobilize it to be your enemy, and then you've made the mistake of losing because you have strengthened your own enemy. You have to ask that question. It looks like Russia has gotten exactly that. Mr. Putin gets enormous popular support from polling, including polling done by people that are not friendly to him. So we're not stuck with only one kind of evidence. Mr. Trump's attack on the world by imposing tariffs on everybody makes the rest of the world very much able, no matter how sleazy their politicians might be, they're all in a position now to do something that has more than a grain of truth, to blame whatever the economic problems are of their country on the United States. You have positioned yourself as the big bad herder. You're the one who's hurting their exports, their imports, their balance of payments, their gold holdings, whatever the hell it is. You can blame, there's a logical link of that to the tariffs and all of that. Look, there's a new leader of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, just announced. Okay, the new leader does what the old leader did. We like Trump. Oh, yes, tax cuts are wonderful. But you know this stuff about tariffs? Awful. We don't want these tariffs. And why is that important? Because the business community of America will go along with everything Michael just said about the American government, as long as it doesn't look like they're going to lose. Because at that point, it's not attractive anymore. Mr. Trump better be very, very careful. Running after the fantasy of the State Department, as he described it, is all well and good until it isn't. And when it doesn't work, when it's beginning to cost, then the questions will be raised. My goodness. Just as now, the questions will be raised, not by people who are against what his policies on immigrants. They don't care. They're not against deporting. They don't care. But if you can't function in downtown Los Angeles because of the policy, then they care. That they do not want. That's disruptive to business, to commerce, to tourism. They don't want any of that. And that's a problem. And that's a problem you should have understood you could be worsening by the very policies that you're pursuing. There is no...
The very policies you're pursuing, you could be worsening that. Well, guess what? The Lord has his mind, or his hands in the mind of the kings. And what is that? What is that? Proverbs 21? Real quick. Proverbs 21.
The mind of the
Right,
king.
the Lord's hand. Yep, the king's heart.
The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
Yeah, the king's. I was just about to read it. It says Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh. As the river of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Okay?
That's right.
So the Most High is working on the mind of Trump to destroy America, to isolate America
That's right.
from its lovers, from its allies, so that America could be destroyed.
That's
Simply
right.
put.
They are inspired with the spirit of war.
That's right. That's right. Inspired by the spirit of war. Yep. This is my last precept here. 2nd Ezra chapter 11.
Beautiful.
And let me start at 36. I'll start at 36. All right. And this is in the GNT. So it reads, then I heard a voice which said, Ezra, look straight ahead and think about what you see. I looked and saw what appeared to be an angry lion roaring out of the forest. I heard it speaking in human language to the eagle and say, right? And that human lion is the spirit of Yahushua, right, which rests upon the prophets of the nation of Israel.
That's right.
All right, they're speaking. All right, the spirit of Yahushua is speaking through the prophets.
That's right.
Okay, so it says, just like, because this is really going into ancient Rome. All right, what Ezra 15, because Ezra was about 500, 450, 500 years before Yahushua came on the scene. So this is actually talking about Rome, but like according to Daniel's dream, or Daniel's prophecy of the dream of the beast.
Yeah.
Right? The extension of Rome, that little horn, right? The extension of Rome is America.
Yeah,
America is that extension of Rome. So we're still in the fourth beast.
That's right.
But the extension of that fourth beast is America. All right. So
the beast with
also
great iron
known as
teeth.
the eagle.
Yeah. The same beast with the great iron
It's
teeth.
also known as the
that you mentioned. Iron teeth. Just wanted to, because you said beast, just so that they know, because there's several beasts in there. The one with the great iron teeth. You quoted the prophecy, but I just want, you said beast, so the beast with the great iron teeth. There's a distinction in Rome, which is Rome. Go ahead, brother. Slack you.
All right. So verse 38, it says, listen, eagle, to what I have to say to you. It is the message of Yahweh, the Most High. You are the only one left of the four animals that I appointed to govern my world and to bring the ages of this world to an end. So,
Mhm.
right out of the four animals, just going back to the dream that Daniel had,
That's
right?
right.
The four beasts.
Mhm.
So it says, you are the fourth animal, and you have conquered all the animals that came before you, all the other empires.
That's
Right?
right.
America has outdone all the other empires before it. All right, New Rome. As long as you have been in this world, you have ruled it through terror, oppression, and deceit, with a total disregard for truth. Okay, if that's not America, I don't know what is. Okay, who that is. You have viciously attacked harmless people who were living in peace, right? Look at our people over here in the land of America before the Edomites came over here, right? They lived in peace with them. And what do? They viciously attacked Israel,
That's right.
Issachar, the Hispanic nations, right? And Native American nations as well, Native American, which are actually Israelites. All of them are Israelites. You have viciously attacked harmless people who were living in peace. You have hated those who spoke the truth, and you have loved the liars. You have destroyed the homes of those who were prosperous and have torn the walls of you have torn Slake,
Take your time.
homes of those who were prosperous and have torn down the walls of those who did you no harm. Yahweh, the Most High, knows how proud and arrogant you are. The Almighty has looked back over the world he established. The end has come. The final age is over. So, eagle, the time has come for you to vanish. Along with your big, terrible wings, your
Mhm.
small, wicked wings, your evil heads, your awful claws, and your whole worthless body. So the whole system of America and its tentacles that reaches throughout the four corners of the earth is going to be cut off. All the tentacles, its extension into other nations through their culture, right? And even the poisoning of their food and their policy is going to be cut off. And then America itself is going to be destroyed, the whole body, a wasteland. Okay. The entire world will be set free from your violence and renewed as it sets its hope on the judgment and mercy of Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, who created it. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. You got
Beautiful.
anything else to say?
What is it? Yeah. Yeah. Simply put, yeah, Sirach, real quick. Sirach, just to finish up here, Sirach 26, 22, and 23, I'd just like to read, right? The contrast with a righteous woman versus a harlot, right? And Sirach 26, 22, and 23. And it says, a harlot shall be counted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death, right? So this system is, this Babylonian system, this system, America, is just a giant whore that the Lord is going to take down, right? Simply put, to exalt the perfect woman, which is the new system that's coming in, his system that he has set up, right? Simply put. So, yeah. And hey, both system belongs to the Lord, but he puts one down and he's going to exalt another, right? So, yes. Sirach 22, 26, 22, and 23. A harlot shall be counted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death. So, yes, that's the contrast.
Which represents the elect.
Yeah.
That represents the elect.
Simply put,
right?
Yeah.
The elect are married to Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Shy.
This is why it says that there is no Baal found in their mouth. Virgins. which means they weren't tainted by the ways of this world, the philosophies of this world.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
You gonna read 23?
You want it?
Or
Go
no?
ahead. Yeah, yeah.
No, I thought-
that's your-
No. You just said 22 and 23, so I thought you wanted
yeah.
to read 23.
yeah, bring out 23 since it's there. Then the point is already made, but that's what I wanted to
No,
focus
that's
on.
okay. No, that's okay. We'll leave it at the point.
Leave it. That's
Gotta
right.
make this straightforward and edifying. That's it.
That's it.
All right. So with that, we're gonna close. I'm gonna give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim,
Shem,
Yahweh Shai, Bahashim,
Shem,
Baruch HaKadosh. All right. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of great and most strong who rule well and have taught this word in truth and sincerity. All right. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, starting with 144,000. That's also pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the full course of the earth. All right. Abba, Kwam Mashallah, and Lord willing, this lesson was straightforward and edifying to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Shem.